ViCi Gaming and Beyond await us in the lower bracket final of Asia, and only one slot remains for both of these two teams who are looking for a grand final appearance against Tai Lu. Now, we all expect that it's going to be the Chinese teams in that grand final, but things were a little bit interesting yesterday. Beyond got the victory over Lucid Dream. I've got Karath and Pilski here to break it down with me. Is this matchup as cut and dry as I make it out to be, Kev?
Yes.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Well, I don't know what else you want us to say at this stage. It's like, how many times has Beyond Okay, let's take it seriously a little bit here. Yes, Beyond took a series against Lucid Dream, but still that was close. And with the knowledge that now that one of the members of Lucid Dream, CBBK, that stepped down away from it immediately the day afterwards, you really have to put a massive question mark on that result.
Yeah, they're IGL as well, which is kind of a big deal. Pilski, what's your take on this matchup very quickly before we dive too deep into this discussion? ViCi, surely in your mind looking like the favourite.
Yeah, ViCi's going to bash him. I don't think that other result's even it really means anything.
Even more savage than I am.
Yeah. ViCi's just going to bash some noobs.
Okay, I mean, that seems like a ViCi special, really, doesn't it, right? When they're up against the weaker teams in the Asian region, the ones that maybe they don't consider on the same level as them, they have an easy run through, and they're probably able to roll over those weaker teams. It's more so when they get up against the likes of Tai Lu, maybe Tiger, some of these other more established teams where they struggle.
Any team that starts with Tai, and you're cooked if you're ViCi.
But these are Tai teams.
But not Tai in nationality, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the exception. That's all I have to say. Yeah, they really don't have any problems, any struggles with any team that isn't the top two in Asia. So that's really the whole thing. Every group stage, they seem to be able to deal with whatever's thrown at them. That might be just due to the fact that maybe their firepower is not getting them across the line against the absolute best.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of a consensus at the moment. But when it comes to playing teams which don't have the absolute top talent in the region, everything's going well for ViCi.
Okay, Kev, let's talk a little bit about the good parts here of ViCi. You know, we would like to speak about the ever-lauded Advent, obviously the IGL of this roster, one of the better players coming in from the Chinese region, at least as far as the brain is concerned. But when it comes to the fragging department, obviously not quite there. I think he's kind of the sort of the figurehead, really, of this roster that seems to drive them forward. It's kind of, when you think about ViCi, you kind of think about Advent in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because ViCi, like, say for example, when they made their reascension probably about a year ago, because back then it was just Tai Lu #1 and then no one else was really close, and ViCi started upsetting them about a year ago. Actually took a lot of series during that period where they were the ones actually qualifying for these international tournaments, and you really have Advent probably to thank for this, as well as the new talent in Jam Young. It looked like ViCi Game were actually approaching the team as a unit, not as like 5 individual members just like fighting it all out in different areas of the map and trying to brawl it out and win. And that, like, once again, you have to be thanking the brains of the operation. But I feel like recently, not working to the same way. Maybe it's because they're the #1 in the region now. Everyone's put like a little bit of a target on ViCi Gaming, and they're trying to analyze what they're doing and trying to counter-strat them instead.
Yeah, potentially. We'll turn our discussion then towards Beyond, who will be their opponents for today. And Pilski, I know you're a big fan of the Thai rosters, or at least you were in the past. We saw some pretty decent stuff from them yesterday. Being able to get that victory over Lucid was a surprise to me. What about you?
They are really underperforming as of late. I guess the win over Lucid is something, but we already talked about that to death. CBBK stepped down from the roster. Lucid Dream's a team that's had their number for quite a long time, so I really would have expected them to win that series. But I guess Beyond were able to come away with it. There was a really big numbers from STK in this series, which I'm not surprised by at all. Because even if you go back to the Road to Rio series that Beyond was having, STK was still actually playing pretty good. It's some of the other guys that I really want to see step up for this Beyond roster if they're going to have any shot at ViCi Gaming. Maybe a couple of months ago I would have said, yeah, look, Alpha Red or Beyond against ViCi Gaming, I'll get them to take a map. Maybe they'll take double digits in some of these maps that they're losing. But nowadays their form is just absolutely in the bin.
Yeah, it certainly seems like a bit of a problem for really not just Beyond, but for all of the Thai teams. Was there a shining glimmer of hope for you out of the result yesterday, Kev? You know, if you had to pick one player?
If I pick a player, I'd say definitely KNTZ coming into Dust 2. Overall for team-wise, though, it's like their T side actually is quite decent because they have structure and firepower to work with.
Indeed, indeed. And we're going to be talking about that as we break down the map of Veto. That's where we're diving into now. Look, I think in the interests of not wasting too much time, let's go ahead and get rid of the first couple of maps. We know it's very likely to be a couple of easy discussions. Dust 2, not one that you're too pleased with, maybe?
No, not Dust 2. Why is Beyond going and banning Mirage?
Oh, they did that yesterday, so maybe just not touching it with a 10-foot pole at this moment. So, look, I don't think those vetoes are too overly surprising. But
Against ViCi Gaming.
Yeah, what else do you ban? You ban your Vertigo. Oh no, we're going to lose. You
Maybe ban Nuke or something like that.
I think,
a bit ban Overpass, which they've been very weak on. Go ban the wider maps in the map pool against a tactical
Mitch, I'm going
team.
to have to stop you right there, right? It's like, it doesn't matter what you ban at this stage, you are not going to beat ViCi in terms of the veto process. They play more maps. It's just like the whole case of like, you think you can play this map?
Pilsy, are you looking at me for backup here or what? I feel like you've looked over at me like, please help me out.
I like how you're trying to justify, but come on, let's be realistic.
Kevin the other day, 80% is 80%. Kevin today, it doesn't matter, whatever, statistics. Bleh.
I tend to agree with Kevin, though, like in some respects, right? It seems like there's no way that Beyond can win this veto. And I will grant you something as well, Pilsky, that I think there probably are better vetoes in the pool here for Beyond. But does it really make much of a difference whether or not it's Mirage or another map? I don't really think it does.
Yeah, don't agree with anyone. Don't take a side, Jordan. Just be impartial.
I took a side with both of you.
An impartial
right,
best case.
how about
Fair
this?
enough.
You just stop talking. I'm going to take lead. I'm going to take control of this. We're going to go and see what the next couple of maps are going to be. It's Inferno and Nuke. And so here's what you're talking about, Pilsky. Leaving Nuke open against ViCi, scary prospect.
I guess it's the lesser of two evils, but allowing ViCi to just pick whatever they want. They've been picking Nuke against underdogs, and it's been working for ages. Obviously, Inferno's coming out. That's a map that they're very comfortable with. If you're Beyond, I mean, you better know how to play Nuke. I know it's like somewhere in their map pool, but I don't think it's the top 3 map for them or anything. I think it's getting down there a little bit more. So you better be picking up Inferno.
Yeah. I hope so as well, because I'd like to see it go into a third map as well. Look, I like seeing upset potentials, and I hate saying the words of... I've told myself never to say the words of, "Nope, this is never going to happen." They're very, very small outside chance that Beyond can upset, but this, like, the chance is so small. It's like, I don't know. It's like my dreams.
It's like
non-existent.
It's like
almost.
a small win rate percentage on a map or something
it's just so tiny for them to even take a map as well as a series.
I don't know if we can let you two cast this next map together. There's just going to be a bickering couple of old farts. I don't know. What are you? Married couple. That's the word I was looking for. Look, I tell you what. Let's go and bring up this third map here, and that'll give us an idea maybe of where the rest of this series is going. If we were, for some reason, to get to Overpass, that doesn't also look like a particularly fun one here for Beyond.
I don't think there is a fun map for them, to be honest. I'd say Inferno might be a chance for them. They've definitely had their problems on Overpass. I remember the game that they played against Lucid Dream in Road to Rio. They got absolutely slapped. So, yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about this one for Beyond. Maybe it's a form thing as opposed to a map pool thing. One thing's for sure, if they don't bring some seriously better form than we've seen recently from them, they're not going to have a chance in this series.
Yeah. Kevin, does it go to a map 3?
Probably not. Look, once again, small outside chance because ViCi have shown themselves to have maybe a little bit of inconsistency, but just against these lower tier teams, it just feels like they just mentally just go, yep, we're better than you, we'll just beat you. So it's just going back to the case of only person it doesn't happen against are these guys called Tai Lu. So, and Beyond's not Tai Lu.
Well, I guess it's time to put our money where our mouth is. Here are our predictions for this series. You can go to DreamHackPick'em.com and give us your predictions as well. Win some prizes there. And it's going to be ViCi across the board for us. I think you'd probably be a little bit mad if you were predicting Beyond in this one. Is that too harsh, or is there
If anyone's going to
world?
predict Beyond in this universe, it's me, and I'm not doing it. So
I thought you were going to say it was me because my predictions are absolutely amazing.
True. There's an argument for both of us.
In what world is that true? In what world is it amazing? Predictions from Kevin.
It was clearly sarcasm.
Oh.
Do I have to add
completely misread the situation.
I literally have to add the /S in real life now, or is my tone not good enough?
I feel like it's gone over everyone's head, to be honest.
It's gone over your big haircut, mate.
Yeah, not possible, not possible. All right, either way, we've all gone the way of ViCi. Not really too many surprises there. If you've been listening to this pre-show, you're probably getting an idea that we don't have too much faith in Thai CS anymore, and that's such a disappointment, right? Because what we were talking about for Thai CS going into Road to Rio in particular was kind of a big game, and they've disappointed there. Seems like they're going to disappoint here again in DreamHack Masters as well. What's the... I don't know, I mean, what's like a fairy tale result here for Beyond? I mean, I don't think you can even say they beat ViCi and then we're happy. I think if they get a map off of ViCi, then we're happy.
Here's how they do it.
Okay.
They hop in a time machine a couple of months ago and play like that. That's it.
They can still bring outlet form, just maybe. Sometimes confidence,
they're
like
capable of it.
Taking that victory against Lucid Dream, you heard yesterday in the interview with QQ God as well that they're definitely doing a lot of practice, just getting the fundamentals down pat. They are playing from the same place as well, so that's going to help with communication and whatnot. Look, if they're hitting their shots, get to a massive lead, take some critical rounds, so to speak, just maybe they have a chance of upsetting.
Okay, well, maybe the folks out there in the public don't believe us. They don't believe all the anecdotes that we're sort of bringing up here and talking about. Maybe they'll believe stats. We'll take a look at the map stats for the first map here. It is Inferno, and I think that just goes and reinforces what we've been talking about. Now, look, only three games played. 100% win rate, though, for ViCi, 50% for Beyond. You're already starting to see a little bit of a trend coming out here where ViCi seems to be favored at every turn.
May I also suggest, by the way, that 2 of those 3 matches for ViCi are against Tai Lu, and they've still got a 100% win rate. So that's, you know, if they're even beating Tai Lu on this map and you're first picking it against them, I mean...
It's just more data to look at.
Imagine if you had just gone and picked a different map where you'd slightly played the veto slightly differently, perhaps. I don't know. Crazy.
You got to sometimes play to your strength. I just gave Mitch a massive grin just there because you said we beat Tai Lu on it. Tai Lu is sitting at like, what, 10% win rate at the moment, which is...
Oh, no. He's done it again.
That's all I'm saying. It's like 100%. That's pretty good. Look, ViCi Gaming, not impressed enough for me, to be honest. Have to be a little bit critical there. 50% pistol round win rate, that's just not good enough. You need 100% right there. Yeah,
only the most 50-50 round of the game.
You look, they could get 90% and they would still be told off pretty much, so there you have it.
Kevin, I feel like you're just hating on ViCi for no reason.
I'm not hating,
right
I'm
now.
just, it's the truth.
What did they do to you?
Nothing.
It seems like you're like some sort of angry bettor or something, you know? You bet your house on
I am
ViCi
not
against
molding,
Kevin's
please,
balding.
come on.
You kind of are. I don't know if you've noticed. Maybe you should look in a mirror. Either way, it's looking pretty much the same for the bettors as it is for us on the desk here. Really struggling to find a world maybe where Beyond can actually get a map off of ViCi. Look, I think if they're going to do it, needs to start off well on Inferno. They really need to kind of just... I don't know. Can you even really get in the head of a team like ViCi? I don't think, unless your name is Tai Lu, that there is much of a mental aspect to this game either.
You can get in their head if you try to play a Tai Lu-esque playstyle. You get in their face a little bit, maybe disrespect. You know, we know Beyond has the potential for that. I think Beyond is just a little bit too sensible for that kind of gameplay, if I'm honest. I mean, yeah, when it comes to a Thai domestic matchup, that's where things do get really brawly, and sometimes they do run at each other a little bit more. But when it comes to playing other teams, the Mongolian teams, the Chinese teams, I've always seen Beyond as a little bit more, and even going back to Alpha Red, as a little bit more of a structured team who actually does have a game plan. So maybe they're going to be a little bit too sensible for those kind of
even
things.
if we do divert back to that brawlier kind of gameplay, I don't think that that's going to worry ViCi all that much either, right? You know, they seem like the team that can have a tendency sometimes, particularly on the T side, to just send Zoking in, send Kaze in, have a bit of a good time, play some quicker rounds. I know it's not traditionally their game style, but it seems like something that they can just fall back onto if need be. Particularly
if it works, that's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to say particularly against these weaker teams, right? And that's where you're predominantly going to see it work.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You know, you will struggle if you're sending... It's dependent on who you're sending him in against. Like, if you're sending Zoking in against some, you know, less skilled players, yeah, sure, he's definitely going to have an easier time of it. If you're sending him in against, like, Slowly, like we saw the other day, or Summer, or some of those lads, you're probably getting your head banged off.
Yeah, unfortunately so. But look, they're not versing Tai Lu at the moment. Once again, we have to reiterate that. So that's a case of, yeah, they're going to go out there and have some fun.
Yeah, definitely. We do want to talk about a couple of the individuals on these teams as well before we dive into the game. So Olivia was our discussion point, Kevin, to start things off here for Beyond Esports. You know, obviously someone that we really do talk about a lot. Very similar to a lot of the AWPers on a lot of teams, right? Obviously, being an AWPer gives you a bit of a prop to start with when it comes to discussion points for the analyst desk. But he's also the IGL and a kind of player that we really need to sort of stand up. And if he doesn't stand up, things tend to go poorly for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, just before I talk a little bit about Olivia, or maybe get Mitch, because I know Mitch absolutely adores Olivia. That ticker headline, I don't know, text guy, how does he know?
How does he know? That's a good
I'm
question.
sweating here.
Seems like he knows all.
Well, I mean, just touching on Olivia, he's someone who's had pretty poor form the last little run where Beyond hasn't been playing well. He was pretty much the centerpiece of Beyond, like you said, in-game leader, AWP player. A lot of the time he's on top of the scoreboard as well, so if he's not playing well, then Beyond's not playing well. Simple as that. He is Beyond to me. You know, there is some definitely other important pieces there, but Olivia is definitely the crown jewel of Beyond, and if he's not shining the brightest, then they're not going to have much of a chance.
Yeah, indeed, I would have to agree with you. But, you know, on the other side of the coin, there are plenty of players to talk about on that ViCi side as well. I mean, in reality, you can go anywhere down the list, Kev, and it seems like there's just going to be someone that's going to be able to step up regardless of the situation. So, look, maybe you rely on one person for that Beyond roster, but for ViCi, you know, Kaze is going to have a good day here. And if not Kaze, then it's going to be Jamyoung. If not Jamyoung, then it's going to be Zoking. If not Zoking, maybe then Orman drops that fabled 40 bomb on Inferno. Who really knows? But it seems like it's a tough ask here for Beyond in this matchup against ViCi Gaming. I'm not sure really where to turn here for Beyond, but if they're going to turn anywhere, it's going to have to happen on Inferno.
Firstly, starts with them turning their monitors on, which is always a positive start.
PC on.
PC on and then monitor. A bold one, aren't you? Into the pistol round, just like that.
Into the pistol round. How about that? The first round of the game is the first round that we start on. Curious thing, isn't it?
I feel like we've devolved back to 2017 levels again, Mitch. We need to elevate ourselves. Right into Nana. Here we go. Pistol rounds. As Kaze is going to be fighting it out, but he's going to get torn into shreds.
Yeah, cops a hell of a lot of damage there on KNTZ and QQ trying to take that banana control, but you'll take that if you're going to be taking Kaze out of the equation. And now Beyond just sort of centralizing around mid, spreading back out. Jamyoung's flanked all the way through apartments. He hasn't even bought armor, but what would you need armor for if you're shooting your opponents in the back of the head? Do see Zoking peeking down middle, taking some fights, getting a bit of information. Jamyoung flanks up behind, two players in some angles where you could see them hit some heads. Counter smoke comes out from Advent, and Jamyoung coming up on the flank.
Yeah, might be all for naught though, as they do manage to grab the bomb and commit into the bomb site. QQ though making a lot of noise, but Orman can't land the shots. So it's all down to a 1 and 3, and Zoking, at least he's very, very healthy, but all it takes is a few Glock shots and that's about it. And he can't flick back on to stack fast enough. So there you have it. Beyond Esports will be able to take the pistol round. Even though ViCi had all the information in the world, they couldn't hit the shots the same way.
Well, that T-pistol, I feel, nowadays is pretty imbar. So I'm not surprised to see Beyond come away with that. Hopefully that gets them off to the start that they're looking for. Hopefully that gets the confidence rolling. Lord knows that they'll need it against ViCi here today. Jamyoung continuing saving while the rest of the team is buying. He actually goes back to spawn and buys a FAMAS. And armor. Maybe wasn't really listening when they said they were going for the Force. These youngsters, man, just don't have their ears switched on sometimes. Someone ought to teach them a lesson.
Beyond will be looking to retake the Nana control off of Orman, who does have a smoke and flashbang to play with. Cops a lot of damage from the Mac 10 though. Lucky not to get tagged in the head.
Yeah, and he's not feeling too pressured. Doesn't panic throw down his smoke on that B bomb site. No point in doing it. I mean, end of the day, may as well be as greedy as you can with that one. Just off the back of the fact that they are at an inherent disadvantage in a round like this. Smoke exchanged with that CT spawn smoke, and Advent gets boosted up. Waits for the flashes to roll in, being nice and safe on that counter flash. Flower pot position. Zoking joins up with the rest of the lads as well, but Beyond turn their attentions back to the A-bomb site. Jamyoung ready with one smoke there to one-way himself in the pit. Actually throws it on Dig's side, but that's not where Beyond are heading. With 20 seconds, they're choosing to wrap through jungle towards A.
Zoking's going to hear all of this though, so as long as Jamyoung's able to stay alive, or if they're able to deny the bomb plant long enough, which is the first kill there, Zoking's going to come out now and try to create some chaos, but it looks like Beyond Esports have done well enough to contain the pressure for now. A 3-on-2. as ViCi Gaming have this diggity as well as library control just after the smoke dissipates. Does Advent check these corners is a real question, and no he doesn't, and it's Olivia that goes straight in, gets the headshot, and Orman is just going to back out of there.
Hold on to the P250 and armor for the next round. Decent damage on Beyond. Olivia's going to have to get out of that site, and he does so very well. Jumping up into the balcony, doesn't want to die to the bomb explosion. She is planted back left, so the other guys could probably just go and save in pit. What Myros is going to do. Not a bad little run from Beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Able to... That's a great start for them. Taking the pistol.
Anti-force, now into an anti-eco.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now they just have to not lose the USPs.
I don't think
it's
they'll
that
be doing
easy.
that. I mean, so far they've been doing pretty well navigating around the dangers, so I don't think they'll be falling against USPs here.
I would agree. Jam Young's being a cheeky boy. Got that Zeus in towards apartments.
He does have that cheeky grin, doesn't he? You look at
him. He just looks like someone who'd buy Zeus. He thinks he's a real intellectual. It's like I was saying the other day, it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh character, you know? That's what he reminds me of in that picture. Alright, well, Olivia, gonna go money man into this bomb site. Advent, that is a big brave position. Look at that.
It's so hard to clear as well. Hang on, that's just 2 kills going in their favor, and Jam Young still in Boiler, a very dangerous position at this situation. He's able to hear the smoke go out, and the question is Stack gonna check it? I mean, he checks it, but Jam Young staying alive actually buys so much presence of map. Yes, they'll get the kill on Kaze, but Stack's taken so much damage. Out comes the retake at the moment.
Advent's got that Mac 10 over towards Moto's side, hiding in the smoke as Orman picks up an AK with armor, I might add, and starts wrapping through Dig's side.
Yeah, but you have KNTZ in like one of the most critical positions at the moment at that wall, and QQ's done well to at least deflect 1 arm of regression, and there you have it. KNTZ's going to clean up from pit with the AK-47. Great stuff from Beyond.
A bit of a celebratory Zeus there at the end as Beyond take that 3-0 scoreline, but now here's where the going gets tough. Because Beyond put this buy round together now. Or ViCi, rather.
As I say, though, when the tough gets going... Well, no, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Got it the wrong way around for a moment. Able to fix that. No worries at all.
Fix it in post. It's fine.
There's someone to edit that afterwards. Just make it into something like me saying that Pilski smells or something. I don't know.
Smells good. Well, bit of an airstrike towards Banana for ViCi. Not really any information for either squad towards that part of the map. Bit of a 2-man tower. Might have been attempted there towards jungle side, but a nice nade. About 80 HP across multiple players. And Beyond, not really sure what's going on at this point. I mean, trying to force your way towards jungle side and then cancelling and now going back towards Banana. They look a little disjointed, I would say. But nice flash coverage, actually. Recovering well to retake this Banana control fairly easily with 50 seconds on the clock. But you're looking at someone like Kaze just sliding back onto that jungle line. Getting full information that no one's in bracket. This might give ViCi a bit of a false sense of security, though, as you see this utility start to fly out towards the B bomb site. Has pulled the additional rotation of Zoking, while the rest of the lads are starting to walk through carpet. Double smoke onto carpet side.
This is all really down to if they can get the bomb down at the moment. Jam Young. Assisted by Kaze, who gets the first pick, but not the second. No armor, gets torn to shreds, and STK, you love to see it. The sprint headshot, and now Beyond also able just to close things up.
Don't do this to me, Beyond. I'm starting to believe.
And Orman's just, once again, just left going, oh, okay, I'm going to save him for.
It's those kind of rounds that there's a very, very deep icy part of my soul, and it's just like someone lit a little spark down there somewhere.
Of course, SDK cleans up. He's on form at the moment.
I thought Ty CS was kill Kevin, but no, SDK, he's here.
Yeah, it was
He's
actually ViCi that was kill. I just want to see the shot on Jam Young.
Oh, the crosshair placement, the counter strafe. Ah, perfection.
Same for QQ as well. Good stuff coming out from the boys on Beyond at the moment. I have to say, yesterday, in their series against Lucid Dream, it was their T side that looked a lot better. They had a lot of structure in it. They understood what they needed to do. And maybe it's time for ViCi to start getting a little bit aggressive coming into their next buy round. Maybe take more aggressive Nana control and get Kaze Zorp on that line.
I mean, that was a hell of a lot of composure for a team with about 10 seconds on the clock there from Beyond. That's what I will say. Clearing all the right angles and even have that additional player floating, trusting that the team is going to take the site so he can control those rotations. Now Beyond slowly working their way through the map, using their utility nicely. And ViCi going for a popular play of purchasing up some pistols and armor, some smokes to delay the T side, who haven't actually pressured any of those smokes out of these B defenders. Both Advent and Ormond still have access to theirs. So a real potential for Beyond if they don't hit the right timing to be running through a smoke grenade into some angry pistolers.
Yep, smoke's going to come out, so is a counter flashbang as well. But Advent's taken a lot of damage nice and early on. And the T's actually get through relatively unscathed, and Ormond dies with the smoke in his pocket.
There's you know, there's a line. There is such thing as too greedy with the smokes. You know, definitely could have chucked that one down in time, but end of the day, it is just little bit of an investment for ViCi.
But you'll have to see it from Beyond as well. Just composure at this stage. They're able to hit all the entries. Mitch is slowly starting to get his hope back up again, which is always great.
I'm skeptical.
Be happy.
I'm not sold yet.
What would Beyond have to do?
Get it 16 rounds on their second map consecutively. Or at least in 2 of these 3 maps. Nah, maybe 1 is enough. Maybe 1 is enough for me to be like, okay, there we go. That's something. It's better than the last couple of months. Last few competitions. I remember we had a little bit of a chat to QQ after a lackluster performance in Road to Rio. And he said, we will be better next tournament. We're practicing. We're trying. And I have to say, this run on the T side so far does not look like a team that doesn't know what they're doing and hasn't gone through this before. They're looking very coordinated. See if they can make their way through another buy round here for ViCi.
This is so greedy from ViCi though. 4 and A with no Nana control. Let's see how well it works for them. I mean, in this case, it's working as Beyond looking to throw a bit of utility over here at mid.
Wow, the full commit.
There you have it. Stack gets the first 2 openers, but Ormond's able to at least pick one back up. They're going to head straight back into Nana instead, but they don't have top brackets control, so this is all down to them flushing out Advent. And you can see he's got the smoke grenade out in hand.
Yeah, going to deploy it. Maybe a second too late. Beyond. I think that's the second time they've thrown a bit of a wonky coils smoke there, and Olivia's just going to run straight through it. Don't know if that's intentional or not, but Advent's well and truly ready for it.
He's read that, and as a result, Beyond actually back down to a 2-on-3 on this retake. But KNTZ looking to get aggressive, and he's able to at least pick one up. That's going to help them a lot now. As you can see, Advent very, very slow to push in, and Maya rolls in the perfect position to play this post plan, but he's going to peek out, he's going to be identified, and he can't land the shots on Advent. He's got the kit, plenty of time, but here's the good thing for Beyond. They get the bomb plant down, they've got money, and ViCi, they don't have cash.
Yeah, Reinvesting in this next round, even with the picking up of the AWP towards the end of the round, is going to be expensive, to say the least, for ViCi. It's going to cost them everything. As for Beyond, up to a 5-0 start, some very clean rounds. Losing minimal guns to the pistols means that they have a very healthy economy. They're going to reinvest, and they've still got money to play with, even going forward here. So very nice stuff from Beyond. Big aggression towards Banana here. Nice utility usage, but QQ with the additional flashes thrown out by Olivia from T-Stairs, going to charge straight up Banana, and Kaze have an opportunity to try to use the corner of that one-way to fire off at least one shot, maybe get one pick, but doesn't eventuate, which means that Beyond take this Banana control. Don't lose anyone for it. And ViCi, information is very limited. They've lost Banana control. They don't have anyone who's deep into brackets with any kind of sight. So actually, what normally would be in a round like we saw previously, a smoke onto jungle side and a flash, would be laughed at by ViCi because they have full information towards bracket. This time it's a bit of a concern. They actually don't know what's going on here at all from Beyond. So this hit into the B bomb site could be pretty effective.
Kaze's on the angle. And here we go. Here comes the smoke. But Kaze misses the first shot. Has to drop the smoke grenade to get out alive. But Advin's got the flashbang. He's going to flash himself forward and do a ton of damage with the A4. And now Kaze can just reassume the line that T is now locked behind the smokes. 25 seconds left. Might have to bail. But with Advin pushing through one more time, they know. They know that Beyond has bailed out of this B bomb site. And they're actually just going straight for the save. Not going to even bother.
Where's the commitment from Beyond in that situation? No one's running through. There's no Molotov deployed behind the smoke. The only thing stopping them from holding W straight through those smokes is just the insane amount of counter flashes thrown out by ViCi. By both Advent as well as Kaze falling back to that new box position, blinding the T's over and over again. So a round where Beyond, I mean, the setup was good, but the execution was not there. Great hold from Advent.
We were talking about Advent having the big brains, and now with the big aim as well.
It's the one way towards top of Nana, which is potentially going to be used to peek. No Kaze over in that part of the map. Actually, it's going to be the peek in front of it as Orman pushes straight down and gets full control. Full information for ViCi as Zoking moves back towards the A side of the map. Advent now starting to turn tail as well. Gonna spray away and maybe re-smoke a little towards bottom Nana. Actually, Orman's going for a bit of a push towards T-Stairs. And he's hit the timing perfectly. Easy one tap to the back of Olivia's head. Does actually get traded back though. But Beyond, they know they've got no control, no information towards Banana.
Oh, and Advent's going to be jump spotting. At the very least though, Beyond have time to work with. And QQ, he's a very serviceable AWPer as well. If he gets this pick, this could be absolutely huge. You can see he's trying to find the timing. Oh, he barely misses. Close.
Could have connected. Either way, they are going to smoke off CT spawn. Advent going to return his smoke for what feels like the third or the fourth time this game. No flash to commit through the smoke, so he's just going to play retake. Maybe spam through the smoke a little.
They're going to boost up. It's Advent going on top. Zoking going to be playing around the smoke. 30 seconds left as the CT smoke is going to start dissipating. Not much really for the T's to work with. Might just be a dry contact into CT, but there's two of them here. Out comes the first flashbang. Of course, it's Zoking that's facing. He's blind, but he gets a double spray down, and both T's have to try to commit. They'll pick off Advent, but now very, very scared about Coffins. KNTZ going in for the plant. Zoking does a little bit of damage.
Still good utility to go for this retake here for ViCi, and they're biding their time with this man advantage. Smoke onto Banana is going to cut off the sight line of QQ with that AWP, so KNTZ under immense pressure here.
But he's in the perfect position to hold on. Has to isolate the first one-on-one duel. Zoking trying to draw out the shots, but he's just too sharp on the flicks as ViCi managed to pick up 3 in the trot. Beyond, though, 3 rounds lost in a row with the bomb plant means they can buy up into this. But this is the part where ViCi starts getting money in.
Just the raw adjustment. It's crosshair placement. completely off, but Zoking just an easy flick one tap. KNTZ walks into his sight line, and after a streak of 5 rounds in a row from Beyond, they're really starting to fall flat. They're running down the clock pretty routinely, and ViCi slowly starting to adapt to that. Is there more dimensions to this T-side from Beyond? Or are they going to considerably slow down here as they're worked out more by ViCi?
Definitely slow down in the sense that ViCi are now starting to get these first kills 30 seconds into the round to really put a dent in Beyond's numbers. Yes, they have Nana control, but they're a man down, and they don't have top brackets. At least SDK is able to get into Boiler. But what can he do there?
Well, he's walked to the end of Carp, and he actually finds an opening onto Jam Young. Not an easy feat. Beyond throwing a smoke and a flash onto CT Spawn and Coil. But Ormond throwing his own smoke down there and actually committing to holding this down with Advent. Flash out from Olivia is actually avoided by Advent nicely.
Oh, and the counter flash is perfect coming in from Ormond as well. He gets double spray down on top of the Incendiary Grenade. So once again, Beyond, they decide to bail out. They decide to go over to the A bomb site and said this is really all down to Stack trying to find the timings. But I think Zoking just might miss the timing himself. But he spots out Stack just at the right time. It's all down to Olivia now. 1 on 2 on this A bomb site. Has to find 2 defenders first. And he has to get rid of Zoking. It's actually Kaze who's able to just find the shot through the edges of the site. And they call their first tactical timeout. But this is a case of very unfortunate with the timing and the CT flashbang from Ormond just coming in at the perfect situation as well.
Oh, it's just some protocols. It's a well-drilled team that's been together for a long time. Plenty of practice, plenty of chemistry. They've held down that B bomb site time and time again.
This is what this is what ViCi is doing right now to Beyond.
It's very disrespectful. He's got both of his middle fingers up. How could you, Kevin?
I didn't know. Well, I did not. Hang on a second here. I have been sold out once again by Pilipovsky.
Classic.
How dare you? Follow him at PilskyCast on Twitter and just give him a peace of mind from @KaratCS.
We've been doing great on the follows this event, by the way, Kevin.
Look, I mean, but this is the part where it's, okay, all of a sudden, look at this. ViCi Gaming just decide, okay, we push.
I don't even know what to say here. Just, it's not even nice to watch.
Oh, actually, they might have ViCi control because Advent just misses an entire clip and Jam Young goes, hey, you know what's pretty cool if we just decide to continually swing. And now it's becoming very costly. Even though the bomb's out in the open, there's a lot of time for this T's to work with. And Kaze misses the shot. And that means the B site can be taken as ViCi just can't land a couple of shots outside of Zoking. And just like that, forces Kaze into a clutch situation.
KNTZ actually found that smoke on his way up Banana. Interestingly enough. Definitely helps on the cross. Retake smoke onto Nana side.
Yeah, but look where KNTZ is. He's going to clean this up. He's got the AK-47 at close range. Smoke's going to fade. And he's going to get the spray down.
Disgusting.
Beautiful round from Beyond Esports, but I don't know how much of it is beautiful as opposed to ViCi just trying to dab on Beyond Esports and just failing to do so and looking like a bit silly while doing it. When the aggression, when you get the crunch and your aim's working, great. Your aim's not working.
It's a bit how you're going.
Well, they've got enough money to buy up into here, so they tried asserting their alphaness and it didn't work out.
Well, that's nice and everything for Beyond to take a round like that, but we're going to need to see them get a few more rounds where they actually win the gun round as opposed to ViCi just throwing it away. They've already done a good job so far. I'd say 6 rounds is pretty good, but at the same time, if you're trying to build a storyline that a team is going to actually complete an upset on their map pick, it's the manner in which they're getting them. Yeah, Since the first 5 rounds, the next 5 have gone all the way of ViCi, except for when they made a mistake. So the momentum's clearly with the CT side.
I I don't even know if that was a mistake. That was actually a perfect crossfire. They just don't land their shots. I wouldn't even call that a mistake at that stage. They were in the prime position. They just choked their aim.
That's fair.
But once again, a very late round here, Mitch.
I have to say, by the way, STK is in some banging form over the last little bit for Beyond Esports. A team that's not particularly doing well. He has pretty consistently been playing well. So you got to give credit where credit's due. Either way, though, Beyond coming straight onto this B bomb site. Who's that in front of the rest of the pack with the bomb? Of course, it's STK. Clearing out the site and putting the bomb down as well.
Yeah, but out comes a bit more utility for the CTs to work with, as they do manage to burn Olivia down quite low and get a smoke kill onto, I believe it was QQ. So 4-on-4, 2 flashbangs and an incendiary grenade. Where is this going to go for Jam Young? As one player goes down at New Box. That's a great Molotov, but the CTs are still going to commit forward in it, and KNTZ can't really peer over the smoke of the fire and the flames, and ViCi just come in en masse. They just gobble it all up and keep 4 alive.
What a retake.
Great flashbangs.
Yeah. Great flashbangs, good utility usage. And that's a round that's gone begging for Beyond again towards that B bomb site. At least they actually made it into the bomb site this time around, but can't say it really did them many favours, unfortunately.
At least they get the bomb plant down. With the loss bonus, they can get a pretty serviceable buy coming into this.
Fortunately, having the money has not really been the problem for Beyond. The only round they got of the last 6 was when they did not have money. And just one with a hell of a lot of pistols. Flash onto the line to actually set Myrolls up to pick Advent. Not an easy shot to be hitting. That's really going to cause a bit of a domino effect in the rotations for ViCi. You see Orman as well as Zoking scrambling over back towards that B side of the map.
Might just dry recontest this though. They're going to push in and they're just going to fight it. Olivia, not in the position to trade out, so has to back away.
I've seen ViCi do that a lot. And they look good doing it. Just the dry double peek. You only expect the Ts to really be leaving the lurker over there. So worst case scenario, you get a 1-for-1 and get some information. Beyond, all left up to them with this carpet control, with this bracket control. But again, they're going to choose to go back to the other side of the map with almost no time left to go.
And here's the problem, right? Because Kaze's pushed through and he's peering into top brackets. He's going, there's no one here at all. And so Zoking, the rotate king, is going to head straight back to the B bomb site, and Orman's going to be spotted out back at dark, but he's just trying to buy enough attention to Zoking! He knows his trigonometry. Just lines them all up. Just like that. They're all dead.
Have you seen anything cleaner than that?
That's what 6 hours of aim prac each day does. Oh. Barely had to flick onto the second head. Or the third one.
I don't think he even saw the rest of them. He just reacted.
That's what you call the delete button. He's just pressed delete. Oh, everyone died. Yay. It's gone from bad to worse now for Beyond. You can say 6 rounds is serviceable, and yes, it is serviceable, but the way that ViCi have come back into this half, Mitch.
Yep. Beyond went up 5-0 against a handful of save rounds. We'll hold that thought, because they are going to go for this carpets bust. But I'd say this setup is going to be pretty hard to deal with for Beyond. Kaze's at nifty, Jam Young, as long as he's anti-flashing towards Graveyard, surely we'll be able to do some damage here.
Out they come, and he's in, as you said, the perfect position to try to do some damage, but Stack on the site's able to stay alive for quite a while. But the pistols will be dispatched of with relative ease at the end of the day. Only Kaze dropping down, but the AWP's in retrievable and recoverable range.
And that's the kind of play that you see work all the time at the lower levels of competition. Those carpet busts catching pit players who don't know how to position themselves, don't play anti-flash at the right times, is much more effective. But ViCi are so good with their protocols. You saw it over on the B site with the counter flashes time and time again. Well-timed Molotovs that time. Just playing anti-flash to the chimney. Oh, they're running down middle again, this time against the gun round. And it's gone terribly for them for the second time in a row. The only time Beyond seems to be able to get across the line is when ViCi just gives it to them. Yep. QQ, that's a 3K for him.
Great shots coming out from QQ as well. Under pressure, not easy to make. Now 2-on-4. You'd say that ViCi will definitely go in for this one. Of course they will. As Advent's going to make a bit of a solo play. Flashes himself in, but blinded, obscured in the smoke. Orman trying to go through as well, but KNCZ, he's suspecting something, gets that shot at the edge of the smoke. So it's going to come to the final round, and ViCi...
It's just so funny to me, because they just keep running down mid into the T crosshairs and getting absolutely owned. Advent's just trying to get a little bit too big brain, just trying to stay that extra step ahead.
My question is, it's just more of a case of, did Advent check out something yesterday and go, well, we saw Lucid Dream do this, and maybe we should run at them as well a little bit. It doesn't work out, but they are going to be pushing up through Diggity. Incendiary Grenade's going to do a bit of damage, and Jam Young is going to have to hold on pretty firm with his A4. It's pretty good at holding on so far, but the flashbang coming through from Zoking actually messes up his teammate. He just did that on purpose because he actually wants to drop the 20 at the moment. If Jam Young got any more, he wouldn't be able to drop the 20.
Oh, get out of there, Advent. Let him have it.
Let him have it. He gives Zoking.
Yes!
Yes, he gets the 20 as we go into the halftime break. It is going to be ViCi with barely a lead. Can Beyond come back on the defensive side, or is ViCi going to look the goods? Well, you'll just have to find out. Up into the second half, where ViCi, you'd say, have the momentum advantage at the moment against Beyond, even though Beyond do have 7 from their own T side. We'll have to see how they go. We're highlighting Olivia And those stats not looking too good for him, Mitch. Not looking too good for your favourite player. What's going on there?
He's been having a shocker the last little bit, but it can be quite hard to be a consistent player while you're all bringing in-game leading. It's also quite hard to be consistent when a bunch of Ts are running at you with Glocks, but Beyond's making it look pretty cruisy so far. SDK does go down in the carpet, so as ViCi try to get the bomb towards this A bomb site, but it's an absolute brawl on the way there.
Wait, Wakaze's got the bomb at second mid. What the heck's going on over here? He's going to find Olivia. It's all down to the 1 and 2 at the moment. Myrol's trying to get the pick on the cross. Not going to work out. And Zoking, he's been really good so far this game. He's pretty good at the click and point adventure we call Counter-Strike. And he's going to suck there. Well, just ignore we said that, all right? He's going to run away.
He's been cast a curse thoroughly there. As Kaze, he gets in towards Graveyard. Myros actually does have a kit and he's going to try and tap the bomb at least to try to bait out a peek. And he has found out where Kaze is.
Yeah, but Myros does not have the sensitivity that Zoking has. Can't expect him to hit flicks like this if he has to take 2 arm turns. You can clearly see not practiced in the arts of the Zoking as he's just been collapsed on the perfect crossfire. So ViCi take the T-side pistol. And Zoking shows the philosophy of why worry about 3 crossfires if you can clear all of them within half a second.
Pretty sure his right arm is actually a prosthetic robot arm. Connected directly to the aim part of his brain, which works really effectively. Mine doesn't work like that. You see, I tell my brain, I go, arm, go aim, and it goes, no. Unfortunate. What
Unlucky.
can you do?
Yeah,
not all of us are born genetically superior.
I don't know about aim. I just look at people sometimes in CS and I just click and they're like, oh, I hit a pretty cool shot. Especially the flicks, I don't think sometimes.
You know what's great?
There used to be a generator there.
Thai barbecue.
Excellent.
Get some grilled seafood, some naan plik. Tastes good. Sticky rice. Love to see it.
So Orman's going to get deleted here, right? Or is he going to shoulder peek it? Oh, he actually knows. He actually just knows. He looks at that smoke and he just... I feel like I've seen it a couple of times where that smoke does get deployed and then instantly the T's knows what's up because they go, hang on a moment, we didn't throw that smoke.
Shh. Whatever, we've accidentally thrown the CT smoke wrong. Oh, big oopsie. Please don't go pushing through it. Nah, doesn't work on ViCi.
Orman's just rolling in the cash at the moment. And Advent goes, here you are, mate. Make sure that you don't die.
Go pick up some USPs.
Excellent. After all, if your bullets are silent, how are your opponents meant to know where you are? This is just big brain time coming out from Orman.
Same sense, maybe? Not something that you really have access to, Kev, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you wouldn't know that one. Either way, though, ViCi gonna start rolling on this T side. Glass cannon for Olivia. Decent utility for the CT side, but no control of Banana. Smokes exchanged at middle. And you can see the difference between Beyond and ViCi, the way that they approach that. As soon as there's a smoke arch side, Olivia's immediately just booked it straight into library. Kaze would still be beefing around that smoke, I guarantee it. There's some pressure towards Banana and immediately retake utility thrown out by Beyond. Not sure if that was thrown quite correctly.
There was a little bit of a gap, and you can see Zoking's actually still lurking around. Flashbang comes through, does a little bit of damage and stays alive. At the very least, Beyond have top Nana control again. Might
have been intentional to throw it like that. Lure the T into a false sense of security to take that duel and then get caught by the flash. Ooh. So, pretty creative stuff from Beyond. Unfortunately, it doesn't get them what they're looking for, and now ViCi starting to come back towards this B bomb site. Myrol's, historically, he's been a very solid anchor. You'd back him to be able to hold something down like this or at least get some damage done, but not recently.
Not with Jam Young actually lurking over there as well. Consecutive hits. Jam Young actually makes his way into the A bomb site. And Orman, close range with a MAC-10. Is able to lay waste to his opposition. It's Jam Young. Not going to be able to hear the scope for some reason. So actually brings it back to a 3-on-3 and now a doable retake, but the two players from Nana committing a little bit earlier compared to Olivia. And Zoking just can't land the shots with the Galil. No utility for the CTs to work with, and no kit either. So the more time ticks away, this is actually going to be favouring Kaze and Advent, and Olivia just has to save one more time. So ViCi able to string the rounds together, making it look pretty easy as they're running from B to A and back to B.
And look, I hate to say it, but after the first 5 rounds, Beyond went up 5-0 following Pistol, a good first gun round, and a couple of anti-ecos. The only other 2 rounds they got were when ViCi ran at them down mid, and every other round ViCi has wiped them in more standard-looking rounds, more normal CS rounds, you know? They're just playing like the better team. It's as simple as that.
Well, I mean, they are coming into this as the more favoured team, and one would argue as the better team as well. This is a good little line from Olivia. You can see Kaze pretty cautious at this stage.
Oh, he's
I think he's been
free-firing
spotted
it.
out as Advent's the one that's coming across and clearing the corner, but Big Brain is dead now, as Olivia is able to get the pick at the very least. And Zoking.
Oh, that's classic Zoking spray right there. Head to eco. Seen that a few times in my day.
Young just dropping a bit of apartment's lurk smoke before he decides to go back over to mid, but he still has Olivia to deal with. But I guess his job's done for Jam Young. He's drawn the rotation off, and QQ has the Deagle in hand, but 23 HP.
Oh, it's just so ridiculous. What a great adjustment, though.
How can they just not get rid of him? Is Kaze... I don't even know if you can go for the plant. The boost comes up, and it's all up to the young Jam made out of counter-striking ability.
Oh,
this nade will take at least one. It's actually the gunshots.
Oh,
and
the
he also
pre-fire.
spots Olivia as well, but he just can't do enough damage. Great stuff from Olivia, though. We said he was having a bit of a shocker coming into this game, or coming into this half. He was sitting on 1 kill.
Is that a 3 or a 4K?
That was a 3 kill from him.
Nice. Nice, Gary. Nice, Olivia. Well, off of the back of that, Beyond put together a pretty good fight. ViCi starting to run a little bit low on the old funds. Dad's not wire transferring them any more money, so they've got to earn it themselves by winning these T-side rounds. ViCi grouping up in toward carpet side, probably going for a bit of a bust here. See Orman potentially ready with the chimney flash. Kaze going to smoke off jungle side, I think. Oh no, it's a progression smoke towards middle.
Great nade, but the problem is Stack's drawn out the gun. Maybe just a little bit too late, but he gets the flick across, so it doesn't matter if he draws out the gun a little bit too late. And Olivia is able to rotate in time as well. As now this has gone all wrong for ViCi as Kaze is trying to go flying down. What is that? Gets punished for it.
STK is poggers.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Legit, like, even caught off by the timing with the flashes, full white. Still manages to keep his cool. And look at this. Luckily, the T's are just as blind as he is.
Yeah, Jam Young's blinded out by Orman.
Yeah. The additional layered flashes by the T side end up hindering them.
So a couple of pistols out in play right now for ViCi.
Well, Olivia and SDK getting warmed up a little bit, but we've got to ask the same of a lot of the other guys. Can't just have 2 members firing on all cylinders on your CT side, because if the others aren't able to hold down their sectors, then they're going to be losing the round regardless. First things first, though, close out this anti-eco and try to hold on to some guns so you have a bit of extra cash in the back pocket. Because let's be real, ViCi have got to be getting across the line on some of these T rounds.
Oh, I mean, for ViCi at this stage, this is actually the perfect setup for them at the moment. Smoke's dropped a little bit late, and actually Advent's going to be doing a bit of damage alongside with Zoking. They'll be able to get the bomb plant down, so they're going to be very happy with that on the side of ViCi. Don't think they can hold this retake unless these Tech 9s are able to do a bit of damage at close range.
It would be quite hard to complete this retake. Unless Beyond start peeking individually. unreasonably. There's a smoke onto Banana side.
Norman's able to at least get one, but the spray from the rest of the boys on the side of Beyond is good enough.
Nicely done. A
Without
good
losing
anti-eco.
Yeah, without losing too many guns, only the single one on the initial play, completely fine.
Yep.
They have to keep their CT economy up high.
And they've done that. 4 alive. It's exactly what you want to be seeing. Now ViCi putting another buy together though. Doing some 6 spins in spawn. Bit of aggression towards Carpet side. Gonna put out that smoke and just wide peek jam Young in middle with some supportive flashes over the roof from Olivia.
You love it.
Doesn't even know what hit him. There's a man advantage for Beyond.
I love to see it. You can see once again, push and pull, as ViCi just looked to opt to take the starter control nice and early on. This time, Beyond actually putting their forces on the bomb site as opposed to the CT side. Out comes the utility, the flashbangs. QQ is going to be the first point of contact. As My rolls is able to get one, but Zoking gets the flick alongside with Kaze. So there's the 2 entries that they needed to force it to a 3-on-3.
Try and set up a decent post plant here. They've got exactly what you'd want. Resmoke onto CT, 1 playing close towards Barbecue on Ana side, and 1 in Emo and New Box. Only the 1 Molotov to potentially flush out this New Box player. Out it goes. But Olivia misses the opportunity to capitalize.
Oh no, Kaze, he's going to go onto the high ground. Stack, SDK isn't going to find the timing through the smoke, so it's all down, well, it's all down to no one at the end of the day, because it is 1 apiece for the ViCi retake holders. At least Beyond have cash to buy into this.
Olivia's got himself an AWP as well. Good utility on everyone. SDK has to go down to an MP9. I'd be giving him a better primary weapon, because he's liable to hit some heads with it. But they are playing pretty aggressively in towards Carpets, and Olivia's going to open up the accounting as they all start retreating towards Carpet side, out the balcony and into the pit one at a time. All of these CTs, and they are actually being wrapped on through jungle side, but that's the bomb dropped at mid by QQ. ViCi thrown into a state of panic at this point.
Yeah, it turns out Beyond, the answer on their CT side is, why don't we just run at them?
What? Dude's best Ty Lu cosplay.
They figured out the answer, but Zoking looking to try to grab a few more kills back, but Olivia's able to do some damage.
You have to say, there's a little bit more to it than just running at them. Some of these setups, particularly that time where they went for the aggression out Carpet, pretty ingenuitive. What are the chickens doing? Excuse me? What is going on?
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
There's a reason why they call that the chicken pit, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Advent, if he gets the timing, he won't, because QQ has been looking pretty good on point so far. We're back to the chickens. Who cares about the action? It's just, I don't know what song is going in your head at the moment. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Like a record, baby, round, 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 round.
It's haunting, isn't it? Oh, SDK is just going to charge straight down middle.
Yes, the ViCi special. Hopefully Beyond also don't pull out the ViCi special and lose it. Olivia, doesn't look like he will. As Orman hits 2 of the P250 shots. That's a very good, nice cleanup for Beyond. That's an alpha play.
Yep.
From the ex-alpha red boys.
Yep. Plenty of red all over the walls.
Love to see it, especially that they're bullying ViCi, and ViCi's economy is not great right now.
I'm going to buy, though. Have to go down to the Galils for the utility, unfortunately. But I appreciate that from Beyond. I love a quick anti-eco, where the pistols don't win, and I get reminded that this game is dumb sometimes. Nice banana control from Beyond. Contested by Zoking is not ready for QQ by any stretch of the imagination, but it is only a 1-for-1. Myros, this is ballsy.
Might actually get away with it as well. No, won't be able to. Trying to sneak out, trying to stay silent, not going to work. SDK, though, might be the point of difference, but he has to try to get out. Orman doesn't allow him to. Points at him, tells him to sit down.
And that just hits the timing on KNTZ.
He's telling all of them to sit down at the moment. School's in class.
Oh, straight through the Molotov. He's parkoured his way through the ruins, into CT spawn, through connector like a speed demon.
Oh my god. Oh, that's an impact round and a half from Orman. 4 kills to get control of that B bomb site just by himself. You can almost just see the X's almost line up on the same angle. And tell you what ViCi is really good at doing?
Beating teams that are worse than them.
I mean, this is still a very close game.
Yes.
Olivia, can he hold on to the AK? No. That was a bit shaky from Jam Young.
Yes, sir. Well, another buy round coming out for Beyond.
Trades out to the AK to continue the killing spree and just keeps holding W.
Why would you stop moving when you can just move and shoot?
Can't stop, won't stop. But you can see the CT economy Beyond's a bit broke here.
Yep. Again, they're trying to send it down near Orman.
Good flashbangs though, but Myrolls, what the hell is he checking?
Not sure. Even an additional flash invested by QQ to re-blind Orman in that position. He was full white. Just starts pre-firing. There's no way that Myrolls should have been able to lose that one. But unfortunately, it's happened. MP9 doesn't quite finish him off on 13 HP. So now Beyond a man disadvantage. Tried to invest everything in getting that banana control. Haven't managed to obtain it after all of that. Retaking it now with a flashbang, but ViCi starting to throw some smokes towards Library and Arch, wrapping through jungle. Still holding down the flank. They're all not in any rush to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, and making sure they're just clearing out the sites and seeing what they can find. And this is going to have to be a save coming out from Beyond. 2 rifles as well as an AWP. Don't want to be losing these, but you can bet your horses that ViCi will most likely go on the hunt. Fairly certain they're in the position that they understand that Beyond's economy will be broke if they take these weapons off.
They may still expect the retake to come out, at least for the next couple of seconds, but as Kaze starts to move through the map, and he's not seeing any CTs trying to come and take this jungle control, you are right, Kev. The T's... doesn't look like they are intending to hunt here, actually.
So King just goes, would you like to be admitted, sir?
Toxicity. It's a problem in the Chinese scene.
So King just looks at him and goes, you what, mate? Oh. I can guarantee you if the scoreline wasn't 14 to 12
I
at this
love the
stage,
replay of it as well.
I guarantee you if the score wasn't 14 to 12, if it was 14 to 3 or something like that, Orman would have shot back. Or Zoking would have shot back for sure.
Maybe.
So a little bit of a horseplay between the two teammates. Beyond have forced into this. It's going to be a Nana fight and Olivia trying to come straight in, but the gunshots. Advent, talk about going straight in, a 1-for-1.
Takes out the AWP player. And takes that banana control as well. Jam Young punishes KNTZ, pushing in that 4-on-4, trying to find some information towards A, as the rest of the boys are over towards B.
So 15-12 is going to be the scoreline.
I would imagine, yeah.
And the guns are not going to be looking good coming into the 28th round for Beyond.
Look, I'm not going to say Beyond looked good in this game, but in certain rounds they looked very good. Like the initial 5-0 scoreline that they got to, and a couple of these CT rounds, if they played like that over the course of the whole game, they probably could have won Inferno. But the large majority of these rounds, it's just not consistent enough of a level from Beyond.
I think overall you can describe it as a solid performance, but ViCi, they haven't even looked like they're in top gear at the moment. That's the whole thing. They've just gone, all right, individually we're just winning a few deals over here, able to take those victories over there. Awesome. Game's nearly won for them. Nothing too overly special. Doesn't mean that they weren't trying at all. They had to sweat a little bit.
Well, like you said, money somewhat limited for Beyond, other than the guns that they held on to. Someone's going to have to go down to some pretty mediocre weapons. I see a FAMAS being thrown around there, maybe an MP9. Oh, 2 FAMASes. Hate to see it. QQ. Okay, there you go. Thought he might not roll out with the primary weapon for a second, but we're all good. Alright, backs against the wall. Beyond need 3 in a row just to push it to OT here on their map pick.
They're picking up the pace and heading straight into jungle, and this is actually the perfect read in this situation as they're able to encroach ever so closer to the A bomb site. This is all down to Olivia to get the first shot down. Hits Kaze, but can't land the following consecutive no-scope. Out comes the wrap now, but Zoking's going to go down. It's all down to KNTZ to hold this A bomb site, but the trades so far from ViCi are going to be working. It is a 2-on-2 though, and both CTs rotating in from mid.
1 kit for Myrolls. So they can take a little bit of extra time moving their way through the site. Jamyoung playing a bit of off angle towards Graveyard usually reaps its rewards for these dig players, and the crosshair placement's impeccable.
And Myrolls coming from the same angle, a little bit delayed, but Jamyoung is going to read that. So ViCi Gaming will be able to take the first map at the end of the day. Look, we're going to go for a short break. We'll be right back with the analysis.